Welcome to Fluorescene.
So I'm here today with Dr. Paul Ajamian. And Dr. Ajamian is well known as the face of SECO's education programs and is considered a legend in our profession. I think you all know that. Dr. Ajamian has many accolades. The most notable include co-founder of the nation's first optometric co-management center, Omni Eye Services of Atlanta, author of 2 textbooks, editor of Review of Optometry's monthly column, Clinical Quandaries, past president of the Georgia Optometric Association, where, as legislative chairman, he orchestrated passage of Georgia's glaucoma and oral medications bills. He's recipient of the SECO Optometrist of the South Award in 1995. And in June of 2021, he was appointed to the Georgia State Board of Optometry by Governor Brian Kemp, where he serves as vice president still. He's the 2014 recipient of the AOA's highest honor, the Distinguished Service Award for Lifetime Achievement, and was inducted into the National Optometry Hall of Fame in 2015. In 2017, he received the Review Optometry's Career Achievement Award, and in 2018, he received the SECO President's Award. Since 2002, Dr. Ajamian has served as the General Chairman of the Education Committee for SECO International, and that's what brought us together today. Welcome, Dr. Ajamian. It's so good to see you again.
Thank you, my friend, Dr. Glazier. Appreciate the opportunity. This is great.
Are you getting excited for SECO?
Extremely. This is the time when we are putting the finishing touches on a lot of the special programs that we've spent all year designing and constructing, and it's all coming together beautifully.
Tell people who may be watching and not be familiar with SECO, who's SECO, what SECO is, and who's invited.
So Southern Educational Council of Optometrists, or SECO International, that's gone by several names over the years, but just now is known to everybody as SECO. Started as a very small regional meeting 100 years ago, believe it or not, in Greenville, South Carolina, and grew. Was never really a political organization, but more of an educational organization, and actually started its own journal in the late 70s, early 80s, the Southern Journal of Optometry. And that's how I got involved. It's now become not only a 13 state, Oklahoma joined us a few years ago, regional meeting, but really we consider it a national educational meeting and the education destination among all meetings as far as practical, clinical, hands-on information that can help your practice move forward and help the profession move forward.
That's a great summary. I know, speaking for myself, my first SECO was 25 years ago, and I'd like to say I was at 25 SECOs, but I'm sure I missed one or two in there somewhere. Which SECO is this for you?
So when I first moved to Atlanta to help Bill Wallace get the Vision Educational Foundation Diagnostics Center, which was the precursor to Omni, up and running, we were in a little double-wide trailer-looking building, and a third of the building was occupied by the Southern Council. And that's when I first learned about SECO, and that would have been 1982 that I attended my first meeting, and quickly got involved with the committee and have worked with some incredible people over the years, Len Brown and Tom Griffith and Andy Cook, and have had some amazing chairs that have been my mentors, from Jim Prince, who was a past president, to Kirk Smick, to Kathy Amos. And then in 2002, I took over as chair, and it's been an amazing part of my career, just a true blessing. When I think about the highlights of the things I've done, SECO is always at the top.
And since you're not saying it, I'll say that I think I did the math, and that's 41 years. That's awesome. What's in store for us at this year's meeting?
So we've got some amazing programs that are brand new, and I'll start with our all audience participation session, kind of a keynote opening session on Thursday. And it's titled Remote Eye Care, Virtual Reality or Virtual Certainty. And Alan, you've been a leader in advances in the profession related to social media and thinking outside the box. Well, we're going to have to think outside the box when it comes to these virtual exams that are really being done all over the country at VA hospitals and now in a lot of practices I know here in Atlanta and around the country. So perhaps we might not want them to exist, but we want to educate people as to what's going on and how you can understand it and maybe even adapt to it and adopt it in your own practice. From there, we go to some really unique contact lens two-part symposia on Wednesday afternoon. And there's going to be an amazing panel led by Milt Tom and many other big names in the contact lens industry. On Thursday and Friday, we've got some breakfast symposiums that are very different. We've never done anything like it on presbyopia and myopia. And those will involve a rapid fire set of talks and then a breakfast in between that will be sponsored by industry, and they'll get to talk about their latest advancements. And then we go back to the lecture hall and we wrap up with some clinical pearls on both of those topics, which are, as you know, very, very current and have multiple aspects to them, from the various ways to treat myopia and presbyopia. So that's exciting. And then we go into our special sessions, which are Friday and Saturday. Friday, Dr. Andy Lee, who spoke a few years ago, and we were just coming back from COVID, so the attendance wasn't what we had hoped for, but still we hear comments that people say that was probably the best neuro lecture or the best lecture period that they've ever heard. And so he's coming back with some different topics. He'll be talking Friday afternoon. And then Saturday morning, several really well-known retinal specialists from Bascom Palmer and Wills will be talking about retina revealed. So opening up, some new avenues for retinal treatment beyond the injections that we know about now. And they'll be showing some videos, and Dr. Sridhar and Dr. Ajay Korean are going to be just amazing in that role. So, and then the hourly talks with new topics, new drugs, lasers in optometry. We've got some laser workshops as more and more states adopt these technologies. Dr. Chris Roten on our committee talking Sunday, hot news or not news, what's new and what's maybe fallen on its face as far as new ideas. Just a lot of really exciting OD programs, but then also a combined program that allows the allied health professionals, technicians, JACAPO, and opticians to take part in a lot of the advanced OD courses as well, because we hear that a lot of these people obviously are practicing at a high level. We rely on them, and we want them to hear the same things we are. That and a partnership with the National Academy of Opticianry, which we've been doing some webinars on. That's going to take place, I believe, throughout the program, but looking at my notes here, and I think I've covered pretty much everything as far as highlights, and it's going to be a really, really fun meeting. You add into that the social events in the evening, the opening reception on Thursday night, the Friday night alumni receptions, and then the Saturday night concert at the Tabernacle that will feature a really exciting band that will be announced shortly. And so all of those are opportunities to be with colleagues, to take a look back at our last 100 years, and one of the other tracks that I forgot to mention, the Then and Now track, co-management then and now, glaucoma then and now, diabetes then and now. Where were we? Look at how far we've come, and where are we going? And the sky's the limit. So very exciting.
That's a lot. That's a long list. You covered the next three questions. I was going to ask you about, what's going on at SECO this year. So let's boil it down and say, out of all that, or maybe something you haven't mentioned, is there something you're personally excited for this year?
I think just the camaraderie of knowing this rich tradition of what SECO has meant to so many people over the years, and now will hopefully mean to new students that 20 or 30 or 40 years from now will still be coming to SECO. And we're very excited that a big percentage of our attendees are in that 30 to 48 age range. So it's not all older individuals like myself that have been around for 40 years. But to think about what SECO has done to advance the profession, to put on foreign body workshops back before any states had diagnostics, to just push the envelope and move into big venues like the World Congress Center like we are. It's just going to be a real celebration of the past, and again, looking forward to how we can do things differently in the future to tailor education to the future generations.
Right. That's great. There's so much at SECO for people who haven't been there, and again, for people who go and understand this, so much value there that happens beyond the classroom, through networking. Always love wandering through the exhibit hall, sometimes so much that I miss my class. Special events, the parties. It's all Friday night there. There's just a plethora of events to choose from. What are some of those opportunities that people can look forward to? You already mentioned the Saturday night party. Give me one or two other ones specific.
Well, the exhibit hall, I think you hit on, is a place not only where you can chat with your colleagues up and down the aisles, but also to spend some intentional time going booth to booth, seeing what's new and asking exhibitors what they have that's new that we can learn from. And without industry partners, obviously, we wouldn't really be getting very far in supporting meetings like this one, as we have for so many years. And so going by and thanking them, but also asking them, show me what's new, and you can learn a lot there. And an adjunct to that, Alan, to answer your question, are the symposium lunches that we have throughout the Congress that are free of charge, but you have to get online and register for them. And again, they're not really infomercials, they're education on what these industries are providing, what these drug companies and equipment companies are coming up with that we can adopt in our practices. So those also are things, along with the social events that you mentioned, that I think are just incredible opportunities with that special feel, that special Southern hospitality that we really go out of our way to make sure people feel. For the young attendees, the first-time attendees, and the very loyal attendees like you, and the ones that come up to me and say, this is my 48th year at SECO. I mean, that just means so much to me. So, and to the entire committee. We've got a great group of volunteers that go out of their way to to treat people like they're home. So
It doesn't even feel like a regional meeting to me. That's what is one of the things that's special about it. What are the dates this year, and how do you register?
So we are March 1st through 5th at the Georgia World Congress Center downtown. And you simply have to go to attendseco.com, and there's a big register button in the upper right corner of that page. And it's a very easy process. I've done it myself, and you can choose your package and pick your courses, and you're off and running.
Great. And if you look right below us, you will see that link when you watch this video. So making it convenient and easy for everyone. You have no excuse now not to at least click the button, see what's going on, and register. I hope to see you there. Now, you personally have mentored so many doctors over your storied career. Can you tell us about mentoring, what it means to you, and what you've accomplished in mentoring, and what do you see as your impact on the doctors that you mentor?
Well, I mean, you've been an amazing mentor to so many people as well. And as you know, working with students, I work with fourth-year optometry students, and I'm even exposed to, by going over to UAB, where our residency is accredited through second and third years, talking about the value of advanced learning, not only residency training, but board certification. And to be able to expose students to the clinical cases that we have at Omni day in and day out, being an all referral only practice, is just extremely rewarding. We have 4 optometric residents as well who are doing a year of postgraduate training. And, you know, many of my closest friends are former students and residents. And it's a tough rotation. People that want to relax and just see a few patients a day don't choose programs like ours. But, you know, they get a lot out of it, and they learn to do methodical exams quickly, thorough exams, document thoroughly, and come up with an impression and plan that would make anyone proud. And to be able to, you know, stand shoulder to shoulder with an ophthalmologist and have a discussion and you know, talk to them as co-managing colleagues, and unlike the way it's been, you know, in years past. So it's I've been very blessed to have that opportunity to teach, and also to teach in a continuing education classroom environment, which is really fun.
That is fun. You've been at it. When I graduated way back in 1993, that same residency existed. I mean, that same rotation existed, and it was highly sought after. That's incredible. It's legendary. Now, speaking about legendary, what do you see as, or hope that your legacy will be?
Well, I just hope that I've moved the profession forward some, and also left the people that are walking into the profession with these incredible enhanced scope opportunities compared to what we have when we graduated, with the message that practicing full scope really is critical to the survival of our profession. And by picking and choosing and saying, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to do that, leaves you just doing this, and leaves us back in the 60s and 70s. And so it makes me proud to see that former residents and students are in states where they've already done, after a year or 2 or 3, 200 SLTs and 300 YAG lasers. I mean, I'm a little bit jealous because we don't have a laser bill in Georgia, but hopefully that will come. But I hope that what I've left is the desire to be involved with the profession. After all, a profession is way more than a job. It's it's a responsibility, and it includes clinical care, it includes administrative work, it includes people skills and managing people, but it also includes advocacy and helping move our profession forward by being involved legislatively, by donating to the PAC when you can't perhaps do anything else, you're out of school, and even if it's $20 a month, to be a contributor, not to be a sideline viewer. And so I hope those are some of the messages that I've left people with over the years.
That's excellent. And so many important things to touch on there. But instead, what I'm going to do is just thank you so much for sharing with us, Dr. Jamie. I'm very excited to be part of SECO, as I have been for many years now, but particularly this monumental one, the SECO's 100th anniversary. So make sure that you check out the conference and what it has to offer. And please consider coming down to Atlanta and pressing flesh with legends like Dr. Ajamian here and a bunch of other people as well. And I look forward to seeing you, Paul, March 1st to the 4th in Atlanta for SECO 100. So thank you so much. Have a great evening.
See you soon. Thank you so much. Appreciate everyone's time.